Consider this situation: you're flipping through a wellness magazine or watching that health program on TV first thing in the morning. Invariably, at some point, someone will mention blueberries. These little blueberries have earned the prestige of a miracle food, as if they were capable of solving all the body's weaknesses, revitalizing heart health, rejuvenating skin, boosting mental capacity, and even warding off serious illnesses. The image built around them is that of a miracle fruit, practically a natural free pass to prolonged longevity. But does this narrative accurately reflect reality? There's no denying that blueberries are packed with powerful antioxidants, important fiber, and essential vitamins. Scientific literature proves that they truly help protect our cells from premature wear and tear and even contribute to proper brain function. However, there's a worrying issue. When any food is elevated to a status of absolute perfection, many people begin to consume it inappropriately, imagining that the greater the quantity, the better the effects. The end result? Instead of reaping the benefits, they end up creating new risks to the very health they so desperately want to protect. And this situation becomes even more delicate when we talk about those who have already reached the age of 60. At this stage of life, the body requires refined balance, not uncontrolled excesses. Many people in their mature years fall into the trap of thinking that simply adding blueberries to breakfast will solve everything. It turns out that the most common mistakes arise precisely at this point, in the way we select the fruit, clean it properly, combine it with other foods, or even in the daily dosage. These seemingly harmless mistakes can seriously compromise the cardiovascular system, blood sugar control, cognitive function, and even our ability to perform daily activities. Have you ever noticed how the food industry capitalizes on this exceptional reputation? Entire supermarket aisles display colorful, attractive packaging with juices labeled blueberry flavor, sugary cereals with grains artificially dyed blue, and even capsules promising to concentrate all the power of the fruit in practical tablets. But the reality hidden behind these promises is that the vast majority of these products contain virtually none of the genuine, original fruit. Consumers buy them firmly believing they are investing in health, when in reality they are only taking home refined sugar, artificial colors, and chemical additives that do exactly the opposite. They amplify the silent inflammation that corrodes the body from within. This widespread confusion is fueled by an extremely seductive promise: the idea that a single food can act as a universal remedy for all ills. And that's precisely where the real danger lies. The human body doesn't function with simplistic shortcuts. It needs dietary diversity, nutritional balance, and consistent choices over time. Today, we're going to reveal in detail the 7 most dangerous mistakes adults over 60 make with blueberries, mistakes that can be very costly to your health, but are surprisingly simple to correct when you know the full truth behind the myths. If you've ever believed that blueberries were synonymous with pure benefits, leave a like right now. This helps spread legitimate, quality information and shows that more people are waking up to the need for conscious and intelligent nutrition as they age. And pay close attention: the first mistake is so common that it's probably happened many times in your own kitchen, relying too much on blueberries and completely forgetting about the essential variety that your body needs to function fully. The first mistake is undoubtedly the easiest to make without realizing it. Many older adults firmly believe that by including blueberries in their daily diet, they are completely protected against accelerated aging and chronic diseases. It's as if the fruit has the magical power to replace varied salads, nutritious legumes, lean proteins, and other crucial sources of nutrients. However, the human body is an extraordinarily complex machine, and no single cog works properly on its own. Blueberries are naturally rich in anthocyanins, fascinating natural pigments that act as powerful antioxidants. These specific compounds help neutralize free radicals, small, unstable molecules that, when present in excess, dramatically accelerate cellular damage. But here's the crucial point: antioxidants don't work magically in isolation. They need to work harmoniously with diverse fibers, complete proteins, essential minerals, and other phytochemicals found in various colorful foods. Imagine the human body as a complete symphony orchestra. Blueberries may be the violin, perfectly tuned and elegant, but there's no point in a violin playing alone if the powerful drums, the melodic piano, and the vibrant wind instruments are completely silent.
The end result will inevitably be incomplete and disappointing. In the same exact way, focusing solely on blueberries means dangerously ignoring the entire comprehensive set of foods that ensure complete and robust natural defenses. A practical, real-life example helps illustrate Mrs. Helena, a 67-year-old woman, firmly decided that every morning she would start with a generous glass of creamy blueberry smoothie. Initially, she felt extremely healthy and proud, but as time went on, she began complaining of unexplained fatigue, weak, brittle nails, and progressive loss of muscle mass. What exactly happened? In her obsessive pursuit of concentrated antioxidants, she completely neglected vital sources of protein and iron, essential nutrients for maintaining lasting energy and adequate muscle strength in adulthood. The end result was the complete opposite of what she had hoped to achieve. The mistake of blindly trusting a single food is so incredibly common because the seductive idea of the miracle superfood is extremely appealing. The media constantly reinforces this dangerous myth, and many end up naively believing they can completely abandon dietary variety. However, in everyday practice, this opens up huge opportunities for serious silent deficiencies, dangerously low levels of vitamin B12, a worrying magnesium deficiency, a chronic lack of soluble fiber essential for intestinal function, among many other invisible problems. And here comes the most important detail everyone needs to know. Robust scientific studies clearly show that diets rich in an abundant variety of fruits and vegetables reduce the alarming risk of serious cardiovascular disease in older adults by up to 30%. However, those who consume the same foods repeatedly, even if they are healthy in isolation, do not have the same effective protection. The fundamental key is not monotonous repetition, but colorful and intelligent diversity. So if you genuinely enjoy blueberries, that's great and you should continue. But think of them strategically as an essential part of a diverse mix, never as the complete, standalone solution. Consciously pair them with nutritious dark greens, vibrantly colored legumes, powerful seeds, energizing nuts, and high-quality lean proteins. This way, the antioxidants in blueberries find ideal partners to work in perfect harmony, simultaneously strengthening your heart, your brain, and even your resilient immune system. And since we're talking extensively about food diversity, there's a hidden detail that many people completely overlook when bringing fresh blueberries home: proper hygiene. It seems simple enough, but it can be a real game changer between protected health and a dangerous silent risk. Are you absolutely sure you're washing your delicate berries correctly? When we talk specifically about small and extremely delicate fruits like blueberries, a serious hygiene error can go completely unnoticed, but the consequences can be extremely serious for the body. Many people naively believe that simply rinsing them quickly under a regular tap is enough to be completely safe. However, scientific research alarmingly shows that blueberries are often among the fruits with the highest levels of toxic pesticide residues and pathogenic microorganisms. This means that, if you don't take proper care, you could be ingesting not only beneficial antioxidants but also invisible poisons that are extremely harmful to your vulnerable body. The real problem becomes even more acute after reaching 60 years of age. The immune system naturally no longer responds with the same vigorous force as when we were young and resilient, and seemingly minor food contamination can cause serious discomfort that would previously have gone completely unnoticed. Intense nausea, debilitating diarrhea, painful intestinal cramps, or even more serious and complicated infections can arise simply because the fruit was not properly cleaned before consumption. Another often overlooked detail: many consumers buy convenient trays of prepackaged blueberries and store them directly in the refrigerator, mistakenly believing that the intense cold automatically eliminates all risks. But that's not quite how it works. Cooling only temporarily slows the growth of dangerous bacteria. It definitely doesn't eliminate chemical pesticides or microorganisms firmly embedded in the thin skin. And since we eat the fruit whole without peeling it, any accumulated residue enters the sensitive body directly. But how do you wash them correctly and safely? The process is surprisingly simple, but it needs to be done with careful attention. First, place all the fruit in a clean, suitable container. Second, cover completely with quality filtered water and add a generous tablespoon of pure white vinegar or baking soda. Third, let it soak carefully for about 15 minutes. Fourth, rinse again thoroughly in clean, running water before consuming or storing properly.
This simple precaution drastically reduces the presence of dangerous pesticides and eliminates a significant portion of harmful bacteria, making consumption significantly safer for the vulnerable organism. And if economically possible, always choose certified organic blueberries, which, despite being more expensive, usually have much lower levels of harmful chemical residues. But it's not just careful sanitation that can completely sabotage the power of this incredible fruit. Many firmly believe that simply throwing it in the freezer will be perfectly fine. Freezing does indeed help preserve valuable nutrients, but when done incorrectly, it can lead to substantial hidden losses and even real risks of bacterial contamination. And here's the fundamental question that almost no one consciously asks themselves: are you freezing your blueberries the right way, or are you turning a powerful ally into a dangerous enemy without even realizing the mistake? Freezing fruit is an extremely common and useful practice in everyday life, especially when we want to preserve essential nutrients for longer. In the specific case of blueberries, this technique can be an extremely powerful ally, as the valuable anthocyanins and vitamins present in the fruit withstand intense cold reasonably well. But there's one absolutely important detail: freezing doesn't simply mean carelessly throwing it in the freezer. When done improperly and carelessly, the process can turn a nutritious fruit into an oxidized food, with substantial loss of flavor, an unpleasant texture, and even compromised nutritional benefits. A very common and frequent mistake is to place blueberries directly into the freezer, still in the original tray they came in from the supermarket. These containers are generally not suitable for efficient long-term preservation. They easily allow oxidizing air to enter, cause excessive ice crystal formation, and dangerously accelerate the harmful oxidation process. The inevitable result? Wrinkled, unsightly berries, lacking the same valuable antioxidant power and, in some alarming cases, even carrying a real risk of bacterial contamination. Another serious mistake is refreezing fruit repeatedly. Imagine the scenario: you take the package out of the freezer, partially thaw it, consume only a few, and put the rest back in. This constant back and forth drastically changes the temperature of the fruit and creates an ideal environment for the accelerated proliferation of dangerous bacteria. Furthermore, each successive thawing progressively breaks down the delicate fibers, releases excess water, and causes the irreversible loss of valuable nutrients. Ultimately, what seemed like a healthy option can become a food lacking in vitamins and even potentially dangerous to consume. Freezing correctly requires a few simple but essential steps. First, carefully wash and thoroughly dry all berries before freezing. Excess moisture forms unwanted ice and seriously compromises the final quality. Second, distribute the blueberries evenly on a large baking sheet, leaving adequate space between them. Immediately freeze until completely firm and solid. Third, carefully transfer them to quality freezer bags, sealing them tightly, removing as much air as possible before sealing. By religiously following this proper technique, you completely prevent the fruits from sticking together, effectively preserve their characteristic intense color, and keep a considerable portion of their valuable nutrients intact. It's as if you're literally pausing the fruit right at the absolute peak of its nutritional quality. However, even when stored correctly and carefully, there's another dangerous risk that few consciously realize: uncontrolled overconsumption. Frozen blueberries, because they're always conveniently available in the freezer, dangerously encourage the idea that one can eat as much as one wants without consequences. But when the amount consumed is completely out of balance, the effect can be exactly the opposite of what's expected, especially on the delicate blood sugar control and slowed metabolism of vulnerable elderly people. After all, could eating just a handful more of blueberries actually significantly harm your health? The answer may surprise you completely. It's perfectly natural to naively think, if it's good for you, then the more you eat, the better. This is one of the most dangerous misconceptions when it comes to blueberries specifically. While they're naturally rich in beneficial fiber, powerful antioxidants, and essential vitamins, they also contain fructose, a specific type of natural sugar that, when consumed in excess, can cause serious problems, especially for those over 60. When consumed in excess of the recommended amount, blueberries can cause unwanted spikes in blood sugar. This happens because, despite being extremely healthy, they are still fruits with fast-absorbing simple carbohydrates. For younger, more agile bodies, these spikes can be regulated more easily naturally, but in mature adults with significantly slower metabolisms or those already dealing with insulin resistance, excess can dangerously accelerate prediabetes and serious cardiovascular complications. Vividly imagine the real-life case of Mr. Roberto, a 65-year-old man. He firmly believed he was making the perfect choice by daily filling a generous bowl of blueberries for his nutritious breakfast. However, during his regular checkups, he noticed with alarm that his fasting blood sugar was increasingly high and worrying. What seemed like an extremely healthy habit was, in fact, cruel, progressively overloading his delicate pancreas. This kind of unpleasant surprise is much more common than one might initially imagine. Another equally important point is that excess fiber, while important for bowel function, can cause significant abdominal discomfort, embarrassing gas, and even diarrhea in some more sensitive individuals. The body demands a refined balance, not uncontrolled excess. Science strongly recommends moderate portions, around half a small cup per day, roughly equivalent to 70 to 80 grams. This amount is perfectly sufficient to provide valuable antioxidant protection without unnecessarily taxing the delicate metabolism. There's also the dangerous psychological factor. Those who eat large, generous amounts of blueberries may end up dangerously lax regarding other essential precautions, mistakenly believing that the fruit automatically compensates for serious dietary lapses. This sense of false protection is extremely dangerous because it opens the door to greater nutritional imbalances. The absolute truth is that even the healthiest and most nutritious foods need to be consumed strategically. Blueberries are absolutely no exception to this fundamental rule. They serve as an important piece in the complex nutritional puzzle, but they shouldn't dominate the entire board. Now, while quantity matters dramatically, how you combine it is also absolutely crucial. After all, there's no point choosing the best fruit in the world if it's accompanied by ingredients that silently sabotage your health. And it's precisely at this critical point that many seniors make the next serious mistake, mixing blueberries with inflammatory foods without even realizing it. Is your favorite blueberry combo actually helping your body, or is it accelerating the inflammation you so desperately want to avoid? There's no point in choosing a fruit rich in antioxidants if, when consuming it, you mix it with ingredients that negate or even completely sabotage its benefits. This is an extremely common mistake, using blueberries in preparations full of sugar or ultra-processed foods. Think of the classic blueberry muffin, pancakes drenched in corn syrup, or even diet jams that promise health but hide harmful artificial sweeteners. In these cases, the antioxidant power of anthocyanins simply can't compete with the inflammatory burden of refined sugars, trans fats, and preservatives. What seemed like a nutritious snack ends up fueling silent inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the biggest culprits of aging. It sets in gradually, without immediate symptoms, and over time increases the risk of arthritis, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Now imagine someone who eats blueberries every day, but always with sugary boxed cereals or syrup-laden yogurts. Instead of strengthening their health, this person is, in practice, accelerating the deterioration of their own body. On the other hand, choosing the right combinations can transform fruit into a true tool for longevity. When accompanied by unsweetened natural yogurt, for example, the proteins and probiotics combine with the antioxidants, creating a functional meal for the gut and brain. Adding chia or flax seeds also increases the intake of fiber and healthy fats, which help control blood sugar and improve cardiovascular health. That's why the food context matters as much as the food itself. Blueberries are powerful on their own, but when added to an unbalanced dish, they lose the battle to invisible villains. But when combined wisely, the effect is multiplied. And here's an important thought: how many times have you bought a product at the grocery store just because it had a picture of blueberries on the packaging, believing it was healthy? Well, this is precisely the next mistake, perhaps one of the most insidious, one that fools even the most attentive consumers. Does that blueberry juice or blueberry-flavored yogurt you have in your fridge actually contain the fruit, or just an artificial trace created by the industry? This is undoubtedly one of the most insidious mistakes. The industry is well aware of the prestige blueberries have gained and takes advantage of this to fill shelves with products featuring pictures of the fruit, but which, in practice, contain almost nothing but sugar, colorings, and flavorings. Consumers see the blue packaging, red blueberry flavor, and believe they're taking home the same antioxidants they'd find in fresh fruit. But the reality is different. Industrialized blueberry juices often contain only 1 or 2% of the fruit, if any at all. The rest is water, glucose syrup, and additives. The same goes for artificially colored yogurts, breakfast cereals, and even capsules that promise to deliver all the benefits concentrated in a single pill. In most cases, what you find there is nothing more than marketing disguised as health. The danger is that this deception creates a false sense of self-care. People believe they are strengthening their defenses when, in fact, they are ingesting products that increase silent inflammation, promote weight gain, and disrupt blood sugar levels. For those over 60, this can accelerate chronic problems like diabetes and hypertension. An interesting fact, in the United States, lawsuits have been filed against brands that sold blueberry muffins and blueberry cereal that, in fact, contained no blueberries at all. The flavor came from a mixture of sugar, oils, and blue dyes. And this type of practice isn't exclusive to the United States, it's present in markets worldwide. To protect yourself, the key is in the label. Always be wary of the expression natural flavor or artificial blueberry flavor. This doesn't mean the fruit is present, only chemicals that mimic its smell and flavor. Ideally, look for short, clear ingredient lists where blueberry appears first. And now I want to hear from you. Have you ever bought a product thinking it was full of blueberries, only to discover it was just a marketing hoax? Share your experience in the comments, it'll help many people open their eyes and avoid the same mistakes. But even when we choose fresh, genuine fruit, there's still one thing that can make it a health hazard. These are individual restrictions, which are often ignored and can pose serious risks, especially for those taking certain medications. Did you know that in some cases, even fresh fruit can interfere with medical treatments and blood clotting? It's easy to believe that, because they're natural, blueberries can only offer benefits. But the truth is that even foods considered super healthy can have contraindications in specific situations. This is the seventh mistake, ignoring individual restrictions. A classic example involves people taking blood thinners. Blueberries are a source of vitamin K, an essential nutrient for blood clotting. Excessive amounts can interfere with the effectiveness of medications prescribed to prevent blood clots. The result? The treatment may lose effectiveness or even pose a risk of uncontrolled bleeding. This is why doctors always warn, those taking these medications need to maintain a stable and controlled vitamin K intake. Another important point concerns the kidneys. Blueberries contain oxalates, substances that, in predisposed individuals, can promote the formation of kidney stones. For someone already dealing with kidney stones, excessive consumption can worsen the condition and increase pain attacks. There are also cases of allergies, which, while rare, cannot be ignored. Itching, skin irritation, or digestive discomfort can be signs of hypersensitivity to the fruit. The problem often goes unnoticed because the symptoms are mild and intermittent, but they can intensify over time. And even without specific diseases, each body reacts uniquely. For some older adults, large amounts of fiber-rich fruits can cause bloating, gas, and changes in bowel movements. What for some is synonymous with health, for others can be a daily discomfort. The mistake lies precisely in adopting fruit without considering these individual details. It's best to talk to a doctor or nutritionist, especially if you already have an underlying health condition. Small adjustments, such as limiting the quantity, varying the fruits, or choosing appropriate combinations, can make all the difference in safe consumption. Ultimately, the key is to avoid falling for the myth of the perfect food. Blueberries can be an ally, but always within balance and respecting your body's needs. Now that you know the 7 most common mistakes, the big question arises: how can you enjoy the benefits of this fruit without falling into these traps? That's exactly what we're going to reveal next, the correct ways to consume blueberries so that they truly work as a powerful natural defense against aging. Now that you know the main mistakes, it's time to talk about the good part, how to turn blueberries into real allies for your health after 60. After all, the secret isn't to eliminate the fruit from your diet, but rather to learn how to use it correctly. The first step is proper hygiene. Remember, these are small fruits, eaten with the skin on, so any chemical residue or microorganisms will go straight to your body. Taking a few minutes to properly wash them with a vinegar or baking soda solution isn't overdoing it, it's an investment in safety. The second point is the right amount. Blueberries work best in moderate doses, about half a cup per day. This serving is enough to provide potent antioxidants without overloading the metabolism with excess fructose. It's balance that enhances the effects, not excess. Another essential consideration is smart combinations. Avoid mixing with refined sugar, cakes, or processed desserts. Choose options that add nutrients rather than negate them: unsweetened natural yogurt, kefir, nuts, chia seeds, or flax seeds. This way, you transform a simple snack into a meal that's good for your heart, gut, and brain. Also, pay attention to variety. Don't fall into the trap of believing that blueberries are enough to meet all your needs. Include other colorful fruits, such as strawberries, raspberries, purple grapes, kiwi, and oranges. The more colors on your plate, the greater the diversity of antioxidants and nutrients. It's like assembling a veritable defense army for your cells. And if you choose to freeze, do it right, dry well, freeze on a baking sheet first, and then store in sealed bags, removing the air. This way, you preserve nutrients, color, and flavor, ensuring the fruit is always ready to use without losing quality. When these precautions become routine, blueberries stop being just a passing fad and begin to fulfill their true role, helping the body protect itself against premature aging and diseases that affect quality of life. But there's a little discussed detail that can further boost these effects: nutritional synergy. When we combine blueberries with specific nutrients, the results are multiplied. And this secret could be what you need to get the most out of this little fruit. Want to discover which foods, when combined with blueberries, create an unbeatable anti-aging duo? If there's one thing nutritional science has increasingly demonstrated, it's that foods don't work alone. They interact with each other within the body, forming powerful partnerships. And blueberries are no different. The true secret to maximizing their benefits lies precisely in nutritional synergy, the art of combining nutrients that complement each other rather than compete. A classic example is combining blueberries with foods rich in vitamin C, such as kiwi, orange, or acerola cherry. This combination helps enhance the absorption of the antioxidants present in blue fruits, increasing their protective effect on cells. It's as if vitamin C were a key that unlocks the doors so that the anthocyanins in blueberries can act more effectively. Another perfect combination occurs when we add good fats. Antioxidants like polyphenol are fat-soluble, meaning they dissolve better in fat. This means that when eating blueberries alongside chestnuts, walnuts, or even a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, the bioavailability of these compounds increases. Simply put, your body can benefit from more nutrients with less fruit. And it doesn't stop there. By combining blueberries with foods rich in soluble fiber, such as oats or chia seeds, we achieve a dual effect, controlling blood sugar levels and strengthening the intestines. Fiber slows the absorption of natural sugars, preventing glucose spikes, and also serves as food for the beneficial bacteria in the microbiota. This, in turn, strengthens the immune system and reduces silent inflammation. Imagine a bowl of plain Greek yogurt with a moderate amount of blueberries, chia seeds, and a few almonds. In a single dish, you create a meal that combines protein, probiotics, antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats. It's practically a natural shield against premature aging, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. This is the power of synergy, transforming a simple fruit into part of a complete defense system. And the most interesting thing is that these combinations don't require complicated recipes or rare ingredients. With simple, everyday choices, you can multiply the benefits of what you already consume. But there's an even more compelling reason not to give up blueberries, especially when consumed in moderation. Several studies show that they have a direct impact on the maturing brain, helping to preserve memory and mental clarity throughout the years. Did you know that a small daily serving of this fruit can help protect your most precious memories from the ravages of time? Among all the benefits attributed to blueberries, perhaps the most fascinating is their impact on the brain, especially in later life. After 60, memory and mental clarity become even more valuable assets. And it's precisely here that blueberries shine. Flavonoids are responsible, especially anthocyanins, the pigments that give the fruit its deep blue color. These substances act as neuronal protectors, helping to reduce inflammation and improve communication between brain cells. It's as if, within the brain, they work by polishing the memory threads, allowing signals to flow more fluidly. Clinical studies have already shown impressive results. In studies of elderly people, those who regularly consume small portions of blueberries showed improvements in memory tests and greater ease of learning compared to those who did not consume the fruit. There is also evidence that frequent consumption can slow cognitive decline, reducing the risk of diseases such as Alzheimer's. Imagine the scene. Donna Clara, 72, a retired teacher, started adding a handful of blueberries to her afternoon snack. Within a few weeks, she noticed she could more easily remember where she'd left her keys, the dates of appointments, and even old songs she hadn't remembered in a long time. It's not a miracle, but nutrition working for the brain. Another interesting factor is the relationship between blueberries and cerebral blood flow. Anthocyanins help improve circulation, ensuring more oxygen and nutrients reach the brain. This is crucial for maintaining attention, focus, and even a stable mood, as adequate oxygenation directly influences neurotransmitters like serotonin. But be careful, none of this replaces healthy lifestyle habits. Physical exercise, quality sleep, and cognitive stimulation are also essential. Blueberries are an ally, not a sole solution. And if you know someone who worries about their memory or fears the progression of neurodegenerative diseases, this can be a simple, affordable, and extremely effective treatment. So share this video. It could be the push someone needs to include this little fruit in their routine and give their brain more years of vitality. Now, after so many discoveries, the final question remains: if blueberries are so beneficial, why do we insist they aren't miraculous? The answer lies in the truth that few have the courage to say, and it will bring this journey to a clear end. Are you ready to discover the ultimate truth about blueberries? After all we've seen, it's time to face the truth: blueberries aren't villains, but they're not miracle workers either. They are, in fact, a fruit rich in antioxidants, fiber, and vitamins, capable of supporting heart, brain, and gut health. But like any food, they function within a context, and that context is called balance. The biggest danger is believing there's a magic cure hidden in a single ingredient. When we do this, we run into two risks. First, we overindulge, overloading our bodies. Second, we neglect dietary variety, missing out on other essential nutrients. It's like trying to build an entire house using only blue bricks. They're important, but without cement, wood, and a roof, the structure can't stand. The true power of blueberries lies in being part of a broad, colorful, and conscious eating routine. Alongside dark greens, vibrant vegetables, whole grains, quality proteins, and healthy fats, they play their role masterfully. Not as exclusive protagonists, but as members of a complete team. That's why the secret isn't to put blueberries on a pedestal, but to understand that health is born from the sum of consistent choices. Eating a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, exercising daily, managing stress, and maintaining social connections are pillars that no fruit, no matter how good, can replace. Ultimately, blueberries are a tool. A valuable piece in the longevity puzzle, one that can protect the brain, improve circulation, and strengthen the immune system, but only when used wisely. Therefore, the final message is simple and powerful: don't seek miracles, build consistency. You don't need secret formulas or magical promises. You need small daily choices that, combined, create a lifestyle capable of sustaining vitality and mental clarity well into old age. And if this video opened your eyes to see beyond the myths and understand the true power of nutrition, take advantage of this moment. Subscribe to the channel and continue with us on this journey of transforming food into medicine. Each new content will bring practical tools to help you live longer, with more energy, more clarity, and more freedom. After all, living well isn't a matter of luck or miracles. It's a daily choice, and today you've already taken an important step in that direction.